from 1986 to 1991. 10 women were killed in a rural county in South Korea. A total of 2,056,620 police officers were mobilized. Investigators began to notice that several attacks occurred on rainy nights, and for 33 years, no one was caught. This is the Hwaseong murders. Hwaseong County, Gyeonggi Province, about 40 kilometers south of Suwon. In the late 1980s, this was farming country. Rice fields stretched as far as the eye could see. At night, narrow dirt paths cut between the paddies with no streetlights. When the fog rolled in, you couldn't see 10 meters ahead. At the time, the local police station had no dedicated violent crimes unit. No equipment, no training, no experience. DNA analysis was not yet available in South Korea at the time. No one in rural South Korea had faced a case like this before. In the early hours of September 15, 1986, a farmer discovered a body near the rice paddies. A 71-year-old woman, Lee Won-im. She had been strangled with her own stockings. She had been sexually assaulted. There were signs of a struggle, but almost no trace of the attacker. No footprints, no fingerprints, no witnesses. When police arrived, they found nothing but cold, quiet farmland. Police treated it as an isolated sexual crime, brutal, but not yet part of a pattern. 1 month later, a second body was found.
October 20th, 1986, the second victim. December 12th, the third. January 1987, the fourth. The victims varied widely in age and background. A 13-year-old girl, a 71-year-old grandmother, everyone in between. The common factor was vulnerability and isolation. What they shared was where they were found and how. Always at night, always on isolated paths, always near the rice fields, always bound or strangled with their own clothing or belongings. Investigators noticed recurring details at the crime scenes, including how belongings were arranged and how the victims were restrained. These details were never released to the public. Only the investigators and whoever was responsible knew what they were. Later, these details would become critical. The investigation widened. The list of suspects grew into the hundreds, but the attacks were not over. Another victim would soon be found. The county changed. Women stopped going outside after dark. Shops closed early. Husbands walked their wives to work. Parents picked their daughters up from school personally. When night fell, the village went silent, and somewhere in that fear, one woman survived. She had been grabbed by the attacker. She managed to escape, and later she gave investigators the only physical description they had. She remembered one detail clearly. His hands felt unusually soft. She couldn't remember his face. It was dark. She was terrified. But that detail stayed with her. Police questioned tens of thousands of people. Detectives were brought in from across the country. Investigators stayed up through the night. The killings did not stop. Not in 1987. Not in 1988. One investigator went back through the records, the dates of each attack, and the weather on those nights. Investigators began to notice that several attacks occurred on rainy nights. Rain washes away footprints. Rain destroys evidence. In the rain, people walk with their heads down, moving quickly. They don't look around. It appeared that the weather gave the attacker a clear advantage. Police responded. On rainy nights, dozens of detectives were deployed across the county. Every path between the rice fields was covered.
September 1988. It rained. The detectives were in position. Even that night, despite the police deployment, another woman was killed. How he avoided the police cordon was never fully explained. Only the result remained. The rain kept falling over Hwaseong County. The investigation had hit a wall.